recorded if you missed it or if you want to go back. So that just means, guys, if you have a question or a comment, it's better if you say it on voice if you can, because sometimes the text chat can be a little hard to read, right? So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Amaretto community meeting. I am so glad you guys are here with me today. I want to introduce the team to you guys. I've got several people helping me out up here today. So we'll start on the end. Umbra, he is one of our lovely designers. Chronic is another one of our amazing designers. TM Sauce, he is one of our scripters. Our owner, Josie Cooperstone, or Josie Wright. Next to Josie, we have Lecture Lock. He is one of our scripters as well. So, I want to thank them for taking time out of their day, because I promise you, I pulled them all off of very important projects to have them here with us today. So the community meeting is a meeting that we have once a month. It's always the last Tuesday of the month, and it's always at 1 p.m. And we invite all of the community. This is where we talk about things that are happening, upcoming things we're working on. We'd like to get feedback from you guys. We talk about any problems you may be having, address issues and things like that. So these meetings are very important to us. So let's go ahead. The way this works is I've got a bunch of announcements, then I'll open up the floor for you guys and we'll talk about anything that you want to talk about. But I have a bunch of information that I want to go over first. So let's start there. Let's talk about qualifiers. Did everybody see the announcement for the month of June? Did anybody see that? So we changed things up a little bit. I don't usually give you guys two different sets of qualifiers. However, for the month of June, I did. So there's two sets, okay? And I want to make it very clear. You can breed together two Sunset Retro Mega Crystal Wings together to get a surprise. Or you could breed two Cassette Ultraviolet Mega Crystal Wings together to get a surprise. You can breed for both, but you cannot mix them. So it can't be a Sunset Retro and a Cassette Ultraviolet. It has to be two of the same ones, okay? Different surprises for different ones. So like I said, if you like the sunset look better than the ultraviolet, you may want to only breed for the sunset. If you like the ultraviolet, you may only want to breed for the ultraviolet, but we've changed it up a little bit. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was other breeding challenges. I was looking over the list because I did a connection on it the other day. And the other Amaretto animals are what some people refer to as the littles with quotation marks, right? That would be ponies, canines, and birds. They actually have more breeding challenges than they would have had if we would have kept them as monthly qualifiers. So the canines, on February 26th, we announced that you could get awesome surprises by breeding a few strategic tags together. And I will post those for you. That is the canine breeding challenge. It is still ongoing. Ponies, this started on April 29th. With ponies, there was 3 challenges given. You could breed 2 ponies with chronic bandanas together. Together 2 ponies, one with a Caroline wing, one with a punch wing. Or you could breed 2 bloody face markings together. So that's for ponies. Ducks currently has a breeding challenge as well. We announced on March 26th that anytime you breed 2 rubber ducks together, you could get a bright, sunny surprise. Does anybody know what that one was? Off the top of their head, anybody? Bueller. Sunlit, that is right. So what you could get from breeding 2 rubber ducks is the Sunlight Harlequin, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous duck. So you got the heart duck. Peafowls also have a breeding challenge that is currently going on. That was announced on April 7th. Anytime you breed an Indian peafowl midnight or white to each other or itself, you could get a surprise. And we all know what that is giving, right? Anybody know? the Kelly Java. Let me get on this right here. And it's gorgeous if you ask me. And look how updated all these wikis are with pictures and everything. So, but that's not all there is, right? Because also for the other animals besides horses, you have the ongoing elemental challenges that are there. And on May 19th, we announced anytime you breed two horses together with the Looney Leg Juicy Fruit, you could get a fresh surprise. Has anybody found any of these? Anybody gotten any of these surprises? I see a couple people saying, yeah, I got one yesterday. Oh, I got one and gave it to my ex. Do we know what you can get from breeding two juicy fruit legs together? Has anybody seen that? Another horse? Indeed. Nope, not yet. All right, so I guess that's still a surprise. So you guys keep putting those loony leg juicy fruits together. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is the Spruce It Up for Spring contest, right? How many of you guys have been breeding for that? Spruce It Up for Spring. So tomorrow is the last day that you have to breed for that, okay? So that means that on Thursday, and here's the rules in case you didn't know, and there's the link to the rules in case you didn't know. It ends tomorrow. So on Thursday on 5/29, I will be sending out instructions on how to submit your entry for that. And I hope that we have a great turnout for that. All right, next on my list, excuse me, how many of you guys took the poll? I was calling it Amaretto's report card. Anybody? A few of you? Okay, cool. So I just want to talk about some things that I asked in the poll and some answers that I got. And I think do you guys enjoy taking the polls, answering questions like that? Because I really feel like the more feedback that we get, the more we can kind of tweak what we're doing to give you guys what you want, right? Yeah, it helps us help you, right? All right, so let's talk about some of the poll results. So I asked, and I'll ask here, do you guys follow Amaretto on Facebook? All right, so after the poll, 55% of the people said yes, 44% of the people said no. I'm going to ask Lamia. Lamia, why would you follow Amaretto on Facebook? Sometimes you see announcements on Facebook before you see them in world. That is absolutely right. Sometimes Amaretto's Facebook cover will change before you guys even know that an LE is on its way, right? So that's why you want to follow Amaretto on Facebook. I asked another question. How many of you guys here have attended an ARU class? All right, so 57% of you said yes. 42% of you said no. So I guess my question is, what would keep some of you guys from not going to ARU? Is it just time? Is it you're busy? Is it lazy? Wrong times you forget. All right, never know when it is. Well, it's always Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and then on Saturdays at 11 a.m. But I do understand Second Life, we have people in all different kind of time zones. So, all right. The next question, which I found this pretty interesting. Do you guys find the Amaretto website easy to use? So this was this 89% of you guys said yes, I do, and only 10% said no, I don't. And that's probably the way it is for any website. Like once you figure it out, you got it. It's simple. Um, I asked the question, do you guys know how to submit a suggestion to Amaretto? 82% of you said yes. 17% of you said no. So for the 17% of you who said no, I want to let you know that you can make a suggestion here at the community meeting. You can make a note card and put it in the mailbox at any Amaretto location. You can also file a ticket. There's also a place on our website under forums under what trait you would like to see next, and you can list it there as well, right? So, yeah, you can message me directly and be like, hey, have you ever thought of this? So there's multiple different avenues that you guys can make suggestions to us. Um, the next question was, how satisfied are you overall with your Amaretto experience? And I can say that I'm very happy. No, there's not a Discord. I'm very happy to say that 44% of you said very satisfied. 1%, I think this was one vote actually, said they were very dissatisfied. So everybody fell in between there, right? So 44% of people being very satisfied with Amaretto, I will take it. I will absolutely take it. This next question that I asked you, I find really interesting as well. I wanted to ask you guys about. And the question was, how likely are you to recommend Amaretto to a friend, right? And although 25% of you said very likely, 29% of you said not likely. So I found that to be very interesting. If we're over almost half satisfied with our experience, but we still wouldn't recommend it to a friend. Thank you, Anna. Anybody, any comments about that one? Why maybe you wouldn't be willing, why you are willing? Yeah, it didn't make sense to me, so I found it very interesting. Could be, but that would be a really big. I may have to ask that question in another way. I feel like it's a cultural thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to feel like it's an MLM or, oh, you got to cut, I completely understand that. You would 100% recommend it to a friend if they were already asking you about breedables, but you wouldn't be like, hey, do you do Amaretto horses if they've never shown an interest? Okay. All right. So the next question which I found this was a little interesting as well. How responsive have we been to your questions or concerns? 34% of you said extremely responsive. About 32% of you said not responsive, and everything else fell in between. Yeah. So, I will just continue to foster a community where you can feel like, hey, you can get help when you need it. There's multiple different avenues. You file a ticket, you go in the main group, you message a staff member, you lots of different ways. How would you rate the quality of Amaretto products and service? This was another question I asked you guys. And I was happy with this response. So it was 42% excellent, 36 very good, and 19% of you good. There was no unacceptable or any of that. So that we've gotten even more responsive than when we had multiple. Okay, I'll take it. I'm definitely happy about the next question. And that is, how helpful was the customer service team when you contacted them? So 66% of you said extremely helpful, and 31% of you said Very helpful. And then again, just in full transparency, there was that one vote who said not at all helpful. So, yeah, I'm proud of that one. How would you rate the speed at which your issue was resolved? Let's give it up for the 1% alt. Well, I can give 1% to somebody didn't understand the question, you know. So 57% of you said very fast, 31% of you said fast, and 10% of you said acceptable. Um, so let me just say this to you guys, the way the tickets work, when a ticket is filed, from the moment that myself or Josie answered it, 3 days, every ticket should be closed within 3 days. Sometimes people will file a ticket at 2:30 and they send their folder and they'll have their horse back by 2:45, right? So just kind of depends what the issue is. Did you include all the information? Did you send me the horse? Because if I got to go in the ticket and reply 2 times over the next 3 days, please send me the horse, that's not going to be a very fast turnaround, right? Then we have, you never answer your tickets. Well, not just me, but how would you rate the friendliness of Amaretto staff? So I asked you that, guys. And super proud of this one too. 56% of you said we're very friendly. 28% said somewhat friendly, and 5% said acceptable, and only that 1% that said Ava's a real Oh, sorry. All right. How easy was it to reach the customer service team? 69% of you said very easy. 24% said easy, and then our 1% said very difficult. If you feel that it's very difficult to reach the customer service team of Amaretto, I would just like to say to you, send me a note card, send me a message, file a ticket, go in the group, get a hold of a mod. And it happens. But I just always want you guys to know that you know where to go if something's not right to get it fixed. I'm super happy about this next question too. It was how reliable has Amaretto been for you? 52% of you said always reliable. 40% of you said mostly reliable. So, yep, 14 years and counting. I always say we're not perfect. We don't get it right on the first try every time, but we do make it right for our customers. Have you ever experienced any problems or malfunctions with the product? Now, this is definitely something that I want us to improve upon. 54% of you said yes. 46% of you actually said no. So, that's just one area that I really want us to focus on and get better. Kind of a trick question, right? Kind of a trick question. Second Life at times can be unstable, right? So with that being said, I really like getting that feedback. That poll is closed. There will be another poll, which I have some different interesting questions to ask you about some specific things and specific traits and stuff like that. So, but overall, I give us a B plus. So, yeah, it could have been read the wrong way. No, Wild, I don't think it was you. The next thing I want to talk about no, I don't want a trophy. The next thing I want to talk about is the live stream that happened with Umbra. How many of you guys got to participate in the live stream? All right, and what did you guys think of that? Give me some feedback. It was amazing. You loved it, watched a lot of it. You stopped by. Yeah, so he is doing amazing things in programs I know nothing about, right? Um, if you missed it, and I will see about putting this link up on our website. If you missed it and you want to watch it, Twitch saves everything. So you can go back and watch it. There's the link. The only unfortunate thing is Twitch's TOS says that no Second Life can be recorded. So anything that we're showing you guys, we have to show you not in Second Life. So how many of you guys would like to see something like that again? Yeah, Caden was doing some amazing things. He was, what was it? The hoofs. He was putting all the details into the hoofs, and it was just like, wow. And just to know that that much detail and thought goes into um, what Amaretto is doing, I can tell you, I could list other breedables to you right now off the top of my head that just take photos of dog hair in real life, bring it into Second Life, and put it on a dog mesh or a dog sculpt, right? There's not the same care, time, and attention that is definitely quality of standard with Amaretto. The veins, yes, yes, yes. All right, so there's a link to that if you guys want to watch that later on. I did want to mention one thing before I open it up. Well, two more things before I open it up. I wanted to mention that with the announcement of the Looney Leg Juicy Fruit, you may have encountered with some older version bundles that the hover text is showing a leg, but the stats is not. Guys, this is an old error which has since been corrected. However, you may have bundles like this. So it may, and it seems to be only with leg. It could be any leg. It could be juicy fruit loony leg. It could be a pomegranate hoof paint, any of those. So if you come across a bundle that shows something in the hover text that's not listed in the stats, I just want you, don't birth it, just file a ticket on it. And it doesn't take long for me to fix it. I know it's a hassle. It's an error that goes back, and this shouldn't happen in a new 7.0 breedings. So I know that that was a concern for you guys, but this is an issue that we've talked about before previously at community meetings. I think me and Haley specifically had a conversation about this at previous community meetings, that if you came across a bundle with that leg missing, to just file a ticket, and I would get that fixed for you. So if you ever find anything like that, just do that. Um yeah, don't update them, because if you update them, it's going to take the leg off the hover text. I need the leg on the hover text to know that hey, this bundle is supposed to have this leg. So just file a ticket. I'll say, hey, send me those bundles. You'll send them to me. I'll get them. I'll whoop de whoop, fix them up, and send them right back to you. The second thing that I also wanted to mention before we open it up, I am announcing our first design derby, right? What is a design derby, you may ask? Well, this will be a designing or decor contest. You'll be given a, I don't know, 10 by 10, maybe bigger space to decorate with a scene and incorporate your favorite Amaretto animals. The contest will begin on, setup for the contest will begin on June 9th. Participants will be given a space. If you want to participate in the design derby, please send me a note card with your name and design derby on it. So this is going to be similar to the costume contest, or what we used to call a costume contest. One that really sticks out in my mind is that we did a back to school one, and people had dogs sitting in the desks and a horse teacher at the whiteboard. Well, here's the thing. I wanted to ask you guys, do we want to have a theme, or do we just want to have a free for all? And how many of you guys would be interested in participating? I like a free for all. Okay. So like I said, you're going to be given a X amount of space, and I will have to, depending on how many people sign up to participate, I will let you guys know how many prims you can use. But you can do any theme, and just somewhere in the decor you want to incorporate an amaretto animal, right? That was something that we discussed at the last meeting, and it was you guys wanted to stay anonymous for the breeding combo contest, like the spruce it up for spring, but you also wanted to decorate because you guys like doing that. So here we're getting the best of both worlds. You can we can have anonymous voting for the combo contest and a really fun kind of decorative decor contest. Just not the rounds, or probably be not okay. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes and see how moving forward, if this is something we want to do once a month, if this is something we want to do every other month, if we want to do some themes and things like that. I would say if you asked me what a good theme would be because you don't have any clue, I think summer would be a good theme. We're just coming into June. Um, Beach, I don't know, vacay, anything you guys, your favorite rock band, Christmas if you want to do Christmas. We'll leave it open for the first one and we'll see how it goes. Pick the animals you want to use and use around that. And guys, you can use LEs, you can use charms, you can use, your enchanted, your exotics, you can use any of the Amaretto animals. Okay. So with that being said, I am going to turn it over to you guys and open up the floor. If anybody has any questions, any issues, any suggestions, any problems, anything. I love hearing from you guys. I love talking to you guys. Like I said, it is easier if you guys talk just because we're recording this. But if you want to type, I will read your question out loud for you. So, what do you guys got today? Let's see, who's first?
I say something?
Sure.
This is Chloe. I wanted to mention that we have a campsite at the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, and it is almost entirely Amaretto themed. We will be holding a charity auction for Relay for Life on June 1st at 4 p.m., and we'll have a live concert an hour before that. And the sim is open if anyone would like to join our team to walk for Relay for Life. The relay has actually happened on the 7th and 8th of June. It is a Love More Auctions team. We would be more than happy to send you an invite to the group and give you a link to the website where you can sign up for the team.
Does anybody have any questions or any issues? I know you guys got something. 25 pack of healing kits. That's a Josie question, Lamia.
I have a suggestion for the website.
Sure.
On your lineage system, I would like to be able to search more than just the eyes and just the coat. I would like to because when I was looking for my juicy fruit legs, I couldn't search for that. I had to, if it wasn't named, I was like SOL. So if you
Yeah,
could
I wish
make
that
it
we could give
different.
you I wish that we could give you every trait, but the thing about the lineage is the way it works. The bigger we make the database, the slower it's going to get. And there's a lot of people using that database. So, I do have something we'll talk about a little bit later that might help with that, but um yeah, other search options. I would say the way that you can circumvent that is the way you name your bundles, right? If you name them with the traits they have, and I've seen all kinds of crazy naming conventions, um, you can find those easily in your lineage. Naming, I don't know. I don't know who does that. All right.
May I speak? Yuki?
Sure.
Uh, that thing that's going on with the peacocks where you do one midnight and one white. You
Mhm.
get the Java Kelly. Uh, when is that going to be putting to a halt? Because I haven't even birthed mine, so I finally got one of each.
I will announce probably at least a couple days. I'll try to do a week in advance when that's going to end.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
No problem. Will there be any? If we get enough graduates, there will be. I think the last time we checked, we did not have enough. So the minute that we have enough, we absolutely will have a graduation. Any plans for upcoming Double Haven points? You never know, unreally. Amaretto will not have dragon classes. ARU will not have dragon classes. I think we try to shoot for around 15 people. Somewhere around there. Is there something about Haven vendors buying LEs? Someone mentioned that. I don't know what you mean, Rux.
I think he's referring to before in the past. You said you never know with Haven points. Maybe someday we'll be able to purchase LEs with Haven points.
Yeah, well, and that's essentially what you guys do when you buy a Haven horse, right? It's like an LE.
Yeah, but I think it was referred to the LEs released, not Haven horses. Yeah.
Okay. I wish a new fancy LE hair would pass in a 12 hair. I don't either. Yeah, I don't think you'll ever be able to buy an LE that is currently released, like the rock stars with Haven points. There may be a time where it gets a special color or something like that. You never, I can't speak to the future that we won't release some kind of limited edition that you can buy with Haven points. Since gotchas are back, will gotcha horses return in the vendors, or will there be new gotcha horses or Haven points? For Haven points. I did read, and I am aware that Second Life has changed, or Linden Labs has changed its opinions of gotchas. So all I'm going to say is, you never know. You never know if gotchas will be back. You just need to make sure you're watching your notices. Yeah, what do you guys think of the gifting vendors? I mean, that's kind of new, but we've had them for a little while now. I think this is our second LE with them. All right. You get 6 packs of foods now. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a change. You have to click the vendor. You have to touch the vendor to even get started. So if you just walk up and try to pay it, you're not going to get the pay thing. But I've done connections on this. I've done a video on this. There is signs up where the food is. Like, yeah. So if you ever see somebody saying that they don't work, now you know what to tell them. If we get gotchas back, I think the previous one should stay out to pasture to preserve the current value, but that is just you. Okay. All right. Anybody having any issues they want to talk about? No charm. That is something I completely left off my notes, that the show horse Gypsy Vanner, you guys really seem to like that monthly drop, right? I haven't even seen any of those for sale anywhere. So, now what did you guys like? Did you like that it was a Gypsy Vanner, or did you just like the traits that it had on it? That it was a show horse. Okay. A great price. You've been approached in the shop by new people who didn't know what is what, and I explained to them a sign with an explanation of what ocean or food is. You know that's all on our wiki, right? And let me link you to that. Yeah, well, we try all different kinds of ways to get information to you, the website, the Facebook, the in-world groups, I mean, they get to the animal and jump to the shop. Well, even if you go to our shop and you click, there's online boards where you can message people if you need help. There's multiple boards that you can click, and we'll give you a direct link to our wiki so that you can learn about the different sizes and packs and food and everything like that. And if you guys have another way that you think would be a great way to get information to people, I'm all ears. I mean, even if you click the horse and click help, it'll give you the website. So if all they got was an animal and we're like, what the heck? Ava clones in every store. A CSR bot with FAQs built in. That's an interesting idea. I will look into that. Get a bot. I'm going to be replaced with AI. Bots are an awesome idea for new people. Yeah, I wrote that one down. I will look into that. Anything else anybody wants to mention, talk about? Got a problem? Got a praise?
I have a question. I've been trying to breed out full siblings for a while. I'm getting a lot of the same gender. What is the percent? I mean, I can have 13 bundles all females, and that's not doing me any good for full sib sets. And yeah, I haven't got my turn yet. So. But is there like
Well, let
is
me.
there like a percentage that, or is it just all by chance from the server? How does that work?
Okay, so I know that most people would think a percentage in their head, right? If
Right,
say, oh, Amaretto sets it to 25% of the time you get a male. So in theory, if I have 4 bundles, one should be a male. That's not how it works.
right.
How it works is anytime a bundle is dropped, it has a chance to be a male or a female. It does not take into consideration the previous 12 bundles
Okay, so
or
it's just
next
all
12.
it's all
It's
chance and the time it
it,
drops and server what the server gives you.
right. It's what the server gives you randomly, and uh and I know it has happened where somebody has bred a horse for 120 days and only got females. But
Okay.
I've seen it
A lot of
happen too
times
where
lately.
I've seen it too where some people had five bundles and 4 of them were males. So nothing has changed in that aspect of the code. It works the same way today as it worked 2 years ago, as it worked 4 years ago. So nothing has changed in that.
All right, I just noticed it a lot more recently, and it's frustrating sometimes when you're doing the full sibs. But I do have to agree, whoever said maybe a gender change pill, that might be a good idea for when that happens.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting suggestion. Also, put the horse in cold linden water for a higher chance of getting a Benny. Oh yeah, you remember that when you didn't see the gender and you had to birth it?
My
At least we
favorite
don't have to.
was my
At least we
favorite
don't
old
have to do
rumor
that.
was when people thought turning them upside down helped. That was always fun.
Yeah, I've heard some weird things for sure. And if you've been through the Mythbuster class, you've heard some of the weird things that I've seen and heard. Yeah, if you face them 180 degrees on the x-axis and have it drop at 2 p.m., it's always going to be a male. Stuff, just crazy stuff, guys. And I've said it several times, and you've heard it over and over and over, that those kind of things are given to you by the server. The server is basically a computer, and it's doing ones and zeros. It doesn't know who you are. It doesn't know if Amaretto, if you breed 500 Amaretto horses or only five. It doesn't matter if you're my arch nemesis or not. It's unbiased, right? Because to the server, you are a one and zero, and nothing more, nothing less. So Friday the 13th. Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Livia. All right. Anything else, guys? No? Now is your chance. I already forgot. Sorry, guys.
That's so wrong, Ava. It's just wrong, wrong, wrong.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right. So the scripter duo, dynamic duo that we have over here have been hard at work at something. And it's something that I think could possibly be a game changer for a lot of you. It's something that we have talked about several times. It's something that you guys have mentioned several times. And I'm super excited to show it to you. So I got some things I want to show you guys. I'm going to res it here on the stage here. We are super excited to give you guys an Amaretto web market. So I'm going to go over with how this kind of works for you guys. And let me put this here. Oh, wrong thing. All right. So we're going to talk about what this is and how it's going to work and how you can get it. So let me pull up my note card here. And let me move this little tag back in front. All right. So Amaretto is proud to introduce the official Amaretto web market. It's a dynamic platform that's going to empower you to showcase your breedables to the entire community. There are a few rules as to what you can place on the web market. 1. No sick breedables will be listed on the market. 2. There are no prices listed on the market. 3. your listing will automatically be removed if the breedable in world is removed. Okay? So that no tricking the system, no saying, hey, I got a charmed bumblebee Shetland here for 5K when it's not really there. All right? If a listing is reported and found to be inaccurate or in violation of the guidelines, after review, it will be removed without notice. Okay? So you will have to stick to these rules. Now let's talk about how it works. So if you guys see the mesh object that I put on the floor there, that is the Amaretto Web Market tag. So you're going to res this tag out next to your breedable. You're going to click the tag. It's a blue pop-up menu is going to come up. And on that menu, it's going to say, or on that pop-up box, it's going to say Amaretto Web Market Listing. Enter your UUID to add it to the marketplace. So guys, the UUID is listed at the very end of the stats on every animal, every bundle, kennel, basket, everything. So we all should know what the UUID is, where to get it, and how to copy and paste. So you paste the UUID into the provided field and click submit. Now, the first box over there by Lamia, that's what it's going to look like in the store. And guys, this is free, by the way, just so you know. The second photo is what the actual web market will look like, right? So as you can see, we're releasing this for horses, chickens, ducks, peafowls, canines, and ponies. And they're going to be listed to similar as to what it looks like on your lineage system. So the middle photo right there, right? So once your animal is listed, there's a couple things you can do. You can access the listing directly by clicking the tag, and it'll give you a URL to your web listing in local chat that you can copy and paste and click on. That will open up the listing. Now, the picture on the end is a listing, so we can look at Tom here, right? You can also rename your listing. As you can see, the name of the basket is Amaretto Pony Pal Basket. So it wasn't a name basket, but I renamed my listing to say Tom so that you can use keywords and things like that to list it. Like if it's a new trait, you could say brand new aura, whatever. You can list it, whatever you want to make the listing without changing the name of the actual breedable. So you can rename it. You can also change the listing type. If you look at the middle photo, see where it says listing type? There are 3 different listing modes. There's going to be direct sale. There's going to be make an offer. And I think bid board is another option. So you can choose any of those. If you have it at your home sim and it's just marked for sale, that would be a direct sale. If you're not sure, but you want to see if there's any interest, you could set it as make an offer. So you just change the listing type by clicking the web market listing object, that little Amaretto thing right there, and click it and change that, and it will change on the marketplace. But this is not even the best part of this. Okay, this is the most exciting thing for me to tell you guys about. It's a very powerful new search functionality that will allow you to easily find breedables by any specific trait. Let me say that again. Find a breedable by any specific trait. Did you get that? For example, if your neighbor lists his horse named Bob and Bob has the trait hoof paint pomegranate, you can simply log in to your Amaretto website and go to the marketplace and type in that search in table, type pomegranate. That's all you got to type is pomegranate. And it will bring up every bundle, every horse, every breedable that has pomegranate listed as a trait. Did you guys catch that? So you want to buy a new aura, you could put in there Brilliant Stars, and it's going to bring up every bundle as well as every horse that has Brilliant Stars. All right. So once you populate the list, you can go click into the listing. And like I said, the photo on the end is what the listing is going to look like. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the buttons on the bottom. So the first button on the bottom right there, that is I guess, the universal icon for teleport, or that will take you to the breedable end world so that you can purchase it. The middle button, if it is your listing, you'll see the minus sign. This is where, if it's your listing, you can remove it. There will be an X there if it is not your listing, so you can report it if something is wrong, if somebody's not within the rules or something like that. You can report it. It will populate a report to me where I will go behind and then remove the listing. Then the back button, of course, that will take you back. I will do a YouTube video, but I want you guys to understand this is not the lineage. You cannot just go in here and search every horse in Amaretto that has a pomegranate hoof paint. This will only bring up animals that have listings. You guys can have as many listings as on the web market as you want, but just remember, if they're not rezzed out in world with the tag, it's going to automatically remove the listing. So if you set your horse for sale at your market stall and you've got the tag, and say Kelly comes along and buys it, it will automatically remove the listing and the tag will poof. So it's pretty user friendly. You're not going to have to keep up with what listings do I have that are active, which aren't unactive, which do I need to remove, all this kind of crap. It's just going to do it automatically. Now, I know you guys have some questions, so let me scroll back. Somebody was saying, can you narrow the results? What do you mean by that, Kitty?
Okay, so like you said, if you type in pomegranate, you're going to get all the, all the chickens, all the ducks, all the horses, all the dogs that have pomegranate, right? Can you narrow that result and say only horses?
Yeah, you would say hoof paint pomegranate, just
You
like
can
it's listed in the
also
stat.
you can also click the buttons at the top of it to filter the results between horse
Okay,
bundle,
thank
stuff
you.
like
That's
that.
exactly what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Awesome. And then you can see in the middle picture, you can see a list of all things listed on the market or just things that you own. Okay. Tags will use up prim allowance as long as you have a listing on there. Once it's listed, the tag must remain out in world next to the breedable. This is going to be live now. This is you guys are going to have this as soon as however long it takes me and Josie to put it in a box and go put it out at all the markets. So this is no month wait time. This is no year wait time. This is right around the corner. One tag for each horse or each bundle. It is free, Neil.
And so if you're going to TP over to these horses, chickens, whatever, if people are just going to set them out to use on their own behalf, won't you end up TPing into a lot that aren't set up for sale?
Well,
This is
that's
for the market only. It's not for you to keep
Right.
an
That's what I.
active listing of your horses. If you list it on the marketplace, people can absolutely TP to it. So if you don't want people to TP to where that horse is, don't list it on the marketplace.
But
there's
what I'm saying
also
is, then you have to have it set for sale, right? Since it's
yes,
for the market.
and that's where
Okay.
the reporting function comes in. If you find a tag that has been improperly used, report it, and we will remove it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. It won't work for boxes. What you could do is you could put one bundle out on top of the box, make the market listing, and have the siblings underneath. Or you're just gonna have to get creative if you're selling them in sets. If you have make an offer, it doesn't need a price. So cannot use tags for silent auctions or bid boards. There is a bid board. Yeah, I listed that one. There's 3 modes.
Just there's no way to have a blind sale with it. So it has to link to an actual animal or their offspring to be valid.
That's something that we're looking into, but doing it this way, saying that you guys have to have it listed and the tag has to be out and the breedable has to be out, that is putting a cap on our database, right? Because that means that Rux can't put out his 1,500 horses and they're all in the database, right? Because he's going to have to put a tag and
Correct.
link them all. So it's not exactly we can just take what we've made here and incorporate it in the lineage, because the lineage you're talking about tens of thousands of bundles of horses that people have. But
So,
we are looking into it, Kitty. So it's not killing my system because you can use my bundle system as a personal index too. I don't know what your bundle system does, Benny.
so on a technical aspect, when somebody creates a listing with the market listing tags, it pulls a direct link from the server to copy the stats over. The lineage system does not copy full stats because of, some of us have multiple hundreds of thousands of items, especially like people like me and Lex who we res dozens a day to test with. It would break the storage. We just wouldn't have the storage to clone that. Whereas the market is more limited in scope. If that makes sense to people here. It may not, I don't know.
Okay, let me go back and let's answer Benny's question first. Benny, you want to mic up and tell me?
Yes, I would like to. Can I post a link to my system here, or should I put it into your IM box, or
You can just post it to me or what, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter? Okay, hold on. Uh, so this is my bundle system where you can list all your bundles for your personal use, and you can set them for sale. And my question is if your system is effectively killing my system now because it is free to use. Uh,
Well, the
but I
thing about
think,
our system versus yours is they're going to have the
right,
live breedable and the tag out at the same time. They can't just list it. And there's no prices.
right.
No
Okay, and
prices on
and
art.
right, and with my system you can summon the bundle to a prim. It teleports to a prim, basically. Yeah, okay, okay, okay. I should
And
look
you
here.
guys can, if you're using Benny's bundle system, please continue to do so. Benny's made some amazing products to help you keep yourself and your breeding organized. If you haven't checked out some of his products, please do so because he has some amazing stuff that will definitely help you be organized in a more simple way. So, Benny, please continue to use Benny's system. Um, so, any other? Wait, there were some more other questions. We do need that database as much as possible to implement. Kind of have an example, but it's okay to mention. Wondering how the stats would be reported. I don't know what you mean, unruly. Any other questions about this new web market?
Hey, I may have missed your answer because I crashed, but is there going to be a limit on how many we can post at any particular time, like 10 or 20 or
There's no limit.
okay.
And guys, just know that if you are caught abusing the system, if every tag you put out, I get a report on, uh, we will take your ability to use the system away. So it's not, I mean, it is something that we're giving to everyone for free, but if you misuse it, you're not going to have the ability to use it.
Will this link to the lineages?
It currently does not. And Chloe, to answer your question, will you know whose it is before you go? You will not. As you can see on the listing page, it only shows the UUID. It does not show owner. All you have to do is insert the UUID. It's going to pull the stats automatically. So there won't be any miss-ups or anything like that. If somebody reports it, it will be physically checked. If you sell the horse, pick up the horse, delete the horse, haven the horse, and the tag is still there, it will automatically remove itself. Yeah, lots of possibilities. I do want to mention this to you guys. This is something that we've just created. There are going to be bumps. There are going to be some things that need to be fixed. There are some things we will adjust. We want to make this system great, but for a first iteration and to put these tools in your guys' hands, I'm super excited.
Betty, we would call that a boost.
A time frame, they will stay listed as long as you have the tag and the animal out. Any other questions, you guys? What do you guys think?
I'm excited.
I said huge announcement. Did I live up to it?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, great. So like I said, this will be in your guys' hands just as soon as we can get it there. We the box is going to look like the picture on the left-hand side, the Amaretto Web Market listing tag. You'll just go to any Amaretto store, you'll purchase the tag for free for 0 lindens, and then you'll be ready to use it. The only caveat is that you must be registered on our website. So if you're not registered on the Amaretto website, that's where you're going to want to start. Any other questions?
Well, you must be
guys?
registered and have an account link. So it will take you to the linking page if you are not linked up.
Right.
So if you can use the lineage, you can use this system.
Thank you, TM.
You're welcome. Sometimes I'm smart.
I have a separate question other than this.
Sure.
Can you guys, like in the future or whatever, like make something like the lineage system that shows us the bundles that females have had through their lifetime, the traits on the bundles?
That is something that we could absolutely do in the future. I will put that down on the suggestion list.
Oh, that would be so helpful and so cool.
Yeah, but actually probably wouldn't actually be that hard. But yeah, it's something.
So the whole purpose in this web market is to have something that's safe for you guys, something that is reliable, and something that doesn't allow the system to be tricked where you go there and they don't even have the horse or the bundle or the basket. So I hope that you guys will enjoy this. And like I said, just as soon as we get done and here and we can go get it boxed up and test a little bit, and we will have it in your guys' hands. If not today, tomorrow for sure. I will absolutely do an announcement, and I will do a video as well. Any other questions? Yeah, I want to say thank you to all my teammates that are up here with me and came today. I want to thank all you guys for coming today. And as you can see, Amaretto is not slowing down. We're only speeding up. We will be doing another session, hopefully with Umbra when he's working on the mesh model some more, so that you guys will have the chance to watch that and participate in that live. Do not forget that we have amazing Rockstar LEs that are currently out. And I think tomorrow there'll be 7, so maybe we'll see something from the ponies and the chickens. But it's going to be a few more days on the horses and the canines. So if you haven't gotten those yet, please go grab you some. They're so darn cute. You never know. So again, thank you guys for taking time out of your day to be here with us. The past few LEs have been fantastic. I'm glad you have enjoyed them. I really like the Rockstar ones. Every time I was doing anything with those, it was like I was saying to myself, or if I was in a call with Josie or whatever, I was like, "This is so cute. This is so cute." That's what we kept saying. And somebody would post a work in progress photo to be, "This is so cute. This is so cute." So we're certainly glad that you guys are enjoying them.
Thank you so much for the hard work, all of you. You guys have done awesome.